Hello everybody, I'm Debbie Indihar Giordano of Master Brokers. Welcome to my weekly update. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody this Saturday coming up. So we're going to dive in. We got a lot to cover today. There's a lot going on. So let's begin with this email that I got yesterday from my lender. The headlines lead WARS, that's W-A-R-S, to lead the Fed. And we all know what that means. The past week, interest rates hovered around the near lows of 2026 and close to the best levels we've seen in the past 3 years, driven largely by the headlines surrounding the next potential Federal Reserve chair. So that's what's driving the interest rates right now. We're at 6.25% for 30-year fixed conforming and 5.75 for a 30-year fixed jumbo rate. So now let's talk about what's going on with the local housing market in Milpitas. So I like to pull down every month and let you know what the housing statistics look like from the Santa Clara County Board of Realtors website. So I pulled in the recent stats, that's last month for January of 2026. We've actually had a dip. I don't know if it's seasonal. I don't know if it's predicated with maybe less inventory and there were some lower sales which brought down the average home price. I'm generally not seeing that in Milpitas. I'm generally seeing properties get at value, some maybe a little bit below, and a lot are still getting overbids or overvalued. But let me share with you where last month's average home price for the single family home. It was at $1,372,000. That's the lowest I've seen it in a few years, because I pulled down February 2025 so I could see what that looked like. And that was at $1,677,000. So there's close to a $300,000 reduction. So we're going to watch that. As you watch my videos, I'd like to bring to you what those current stats look like as we dive into seeing what February gets, March and April. And that kind of helps the spring set point in terms of pricing. So again, I'm hoping that it's just a small blip in the market and we're not going to see that as to be what's relevant. But another statistic I find is what does the average days on market look like, and that's still very, very good. So that spells out a very good seller's market. We're at 13 days for a median price property days on market. We have 9 solds on last month in the month of January and 24 new listings. So we are getting some new inventory coming up, which is going to be great for buyers. So I had a great article that I want to share with you that I read in the Milpitas Post in the real estate section. They said, unlocking creative financing strategies for today's tech-driven housing market. And that's the key right here, tech-driven housing market. So we do watch the stock market. I do watch it daily to see what's going on. The fast-paced real estate landscape of the Bay Area's prospective homeowners often find themselves at a crossroads, balancing high property values against shifting interest rates. So there's a wait-and-see trap for some buyers. Many buyers are currently sitting on the fence or the sidelines, waiting for interest rates to drop further. I wouldn't recommend that. If you find just what you want, a home for your family, a home to have your kids go to good schools, a home that's in close proximity to work. Once you have a home that checks all those boxes, I would venture that it's best to dive in and do that. If interest rates do drop, you can always refinance and get a lower rate. Don't wait for the feds to cut, is what this financial advisor said in this article. When the Fed cuts rates, everyone else will rush back into the market, driving prices up. So buy now while you have less competition and refinance it later. So that can't be more true. The next thing is tailored solutions for tech professionals. For many in the Silicon Valley, the challenge isn't lack of wealth, but rather how to manage that wealth. And then overcoming challenges in the condo market. Condo market can be difficult when you have the HOA and there's particularly hurdles, or if there's a balcony, they have an inspection law. But we're seeing right through those, there's a lot of condos that are also priced right, that are moving very, very good. And then last but not least, innovative paths to ownership. For those who don't fit the traditional W-2 employee, they can look at self-employed entrepreneurs or international recruits and alternative financing programs. So there are some out there. And you can always send me an email and I'll refer you to my local lender that I use. So that's kind of a note to buyers on what they need to look for. And then let's talk about what I've got coming up. So listed, well, I've got in the pike 1464 Etzel Drive in Milpitas. That's not quite ready. We're doing some things with the city of Milpitas in terms of building permits, but it's actually a 4-bedroom, 4-bath. It's a smaller home. It's 1,300 square feet. She used it as an Airbnb, so it's got a lot of potential there. It's a good street. It's in great condition, and hoping the price will be around 1.498 for that property, but stay tuned and we'll talk about that as it progresses through. And then 390 Monmouth Drive, I've talked about that last year. Hopefully that's going to get ready soon. It's a 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 1775 square foot home in Milpitas in an older established neighborhood. And that's going to be at $1,698,888. It needs updating, but that's a good opportunity for a buyer. And then 247 Delia Street in San Jose. That's in the base of the Alum Rock foothills. It's 2,100 square foot corner lot home. Definitely needs remodeling, but it's owned by the original family. The family is now selling that property, so we're clearing that out. Talked to them over the weekend. They've got a few more passes to do, and then we'll clear that out with an estate sale. Probably just paint that. May put some new flooring in, not 100% certain, but a good price on that. It's going to be $1,398,888 for that property, so that's going to be a really, really good potential. So I've got closing tomorrow. 14884 Penitencia Creek Road in San Jose. That's closing at 1650. It was listed at 1.6, so they're very happy. 1,700 square foot, much older home, but really well cared for. It had a huge 1,200 square foot garage in the back, so a lot of buyer appeal on that, and the buyer just sapped that up, and sellers are going to close tomorrow and are on their way, happy. And then closing next week is 650 Folsom Circle in Milpitas. That's that 2-bedroom, 2.5-bath duet home, 1,459 square feet. Really a nice property. We only did get one offer, but we took it. We negotiated strong, and I won't give you the closing price. It listed at $1,348,888. It's going to close below that, but seller's happy. It's a pretty good deal for the buyer, and we're going to make that happen. I'll be able to share that price with you when that does close. So getting your home ready. The spring market is right around the corner. That's what I do best. Give me a call, 408-945-8988 for a private consultation. We'll view your home, checklist together, see what we need to do to prepare it. You may not have to do too much. The market's very good. I like as-is sales, and I don't like a seller to put in extra money that they don't need to put in to get top dollar for their home. So that's where you bring me in, and I'll let you know. So I'm at 408-945-8988, or visit my website, debbiegiordano.com. And there's a connect tab, me, and I'll get back to you. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.